are strict with their content on there. So a lot of our stuff gets deleted, even though it's not pornographic in any way whatsoever. As soon as they see a poll, as soon as anything like that comes up, they just delete your content, and sometimes your account just get banned. Word of mouth actually probably is the biggest seller for me. They've scrolled now. They're 10 scrolls deep. They're not going to be buying anything off of you. You need to catch them in that moment. I did it for free because it wasn't for them, it was for me, and they were joining in with me, and it just turned into something bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought maybe we get maybe 100, 200 of us. Well, 10,000 people later, I had 10,000 people doing this challenge with me.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We are here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name is John Ainsworth and today's guest is Dan Rosen. Now, Dan describes himself as a pole dancer, instructor and occasional Instagram menace. Known for his iconic tricks, hilariously unfiltered teaching style, and infectious energy, has helped thousands of dancers worldwide to feel stronger, more confident, and more themselves on the pole. And we're going to talk today about how Dan has built this business to make $1.6 million so far teaching courses on pole dancing, why he thinks you have to put out courses and content with pure intentions, and why you can't be loved by everyone, and sometimes you have to tell people the things they don't want to hear. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. God, I should get used to do my introductions to me all the time. That was an amazing introduction. That was, wow.
You're a very good hype man. Yeah.
Love that. It was perfect.
I'd love to know. So tell me a little bit more about it. I've been going through your site, have a little look, but can you tell me a bit more about who do you help with your courses? What kind of problem are you solving for?
So, yeah, I'm a pole dancer. So my main customers are obviously pole dancers. During COVID, before COVID, let's go back before COVID. Before COVID, online pole dancing was not really a thing. We had a few people in the space, but it wasn't very popular because all we ever knew in this industry was using pole studios, like going to a studio and learning from a pole studio. So then when COVID happened, we had no choice. We all had to go online, and many of us were like, actually, this is actually quite good. It's not a bad environment to learn in. You kind of have your own space to kind of learn at your own pace. So it became quite popular, especially during COVID because we couldn't go to the studios. So it was very much like gyms. A lot of the gyms working online, so were we. And at the beginning, I'll be honest, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. We all were just trying our best. I just set up Zoom classes so I actually had a studio at the time, like a physical studio in Hemel Hempstead. And I basically was just funneling my customers through that business. But obviously a lot of these customers that were coming to me were from all over the world. So it was really a really interesting time where I just literally scrimped by the skin of my teeth, really. It was just I just about got through it with the technology side of it. But yeah, and it basically ended up becoming that when we went into I think it was the first, we were near the end of the first lockdowns maybe. And we were then going into the new year, and I was like, do you know what? I'd gotten to a point where I was like, I need something to kind of boost my own morale and kind of get me back training again, because we'd all kind of been at home, so we just were teaching, really. We weren't really training for ourselves. And I was like, I need to get some strength back. So I was like, I basically put it out there to all of my Instagram following. I was like, right, guys, who wants to do conditioning with me? Every day, we're going to do it every day, 30 minutes. We'll just do it together. I thought maybe we get maybe 100, 200 of us. Well, 10,000 people later, I had 10,000 people doing this challenge with me. And I just had to learn as I went. And at first I was like, oh, I'm going to do it all on Facebook. No, that was a nightmare. No, we're not going to do it on Facebook. We're going to do it through Zoom. Wait, I can't fit more than this amount of people on Zoom. I need Zoom webinars. I was just learning as I was going. It was free anyway. So people were just really grateful for the challenge. And doing that good service opened up my online platform, which is the Pole Destroyers, which is basically just all everything pole with Dan Rosen. Basically, I've got some guests that teach on there as well. And yeah, that's really how my business started, was through COVID.
So what was different between that? So you said you were teaching pole dancing online during COVID, and then you started doing the conditioning thing. So why do you think it was the conditioning bit that really took off?
Because I think, do you know what I think it is? I think at the time I was just being really honest about my story. I was suffering with mental health at the time because I'm very much a routine person. And during COVID, we couldn't leave the house. That was very unlike me. Don't get me wrong, I love being at home, but I just was not used to being at home so much. I was used to I was a traveling pole dancer. I was always in different countries. I was always teaching people in different locations. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm at home 24/7. Like, and it was nice in some ways, but in other ways, yeah, it was really difficult because it was just too much change for me. A change which ended up being amazing for me, can I just add? So I'm really grateful for it. But at the beginning, I suffered really badly. And then as a result of that, I ended up gaining loads of weight. And I was like, right, how can I get myself back into this? And I think because my followers and stuff were like, oh my God, I'm in the same position as you. Like, yes, me too. Like, so many of us were like, right, let's do this together. Do you know what I mean? And I think it created
Mm.
that sense of community. And I think that's why it's done well. So I think that's why it was just right place, right time.
Mm. Interesting. And where were you building an audience? Was it YouTube or Instagram, or like you mentioned Instagram earlier?
Yeah, it's mainly Instagram. I mean, I'm on
Okay.
TikTok, but honestly, I'm too old for TikTok. I love watching TikTok. I feel like TikTok is such a great place for like if you just want some feel good videos. I find my feed on there is quite feel good, whereas my feed on Instagram can be a little bit less fun because it's mainly pole stuff rather than like fun dog and cat videos. But
Mm.
yeah, so I find like on TikTok, I'm just not as good on it. And I wasn't posting on it consistently when it first sort of started. So I kind of are late to the game with that. Um, yeah, so with like obviously different tools online that I've found to be able to post to multiple platforms at the same time, I've now started posting on there. So not as many on there. I've got like 114,000, I think it is, on my, or maybe 13, on my page. And then on my TikTok page, it's 5 or 6 thousand. It's not very much at all, but
Mm.
it's extra people, and who knows, they might become customers one day. So it's one of those things, right?
One of the things we've found with TikTok so far, and I'm always open to like seeing if there's anything that's changed, is that even clients of ours who've got really big TikTok audiences, like maybe 1 million people on TikTok, they're still not making money from TikTok. They make money from Instagram. They make much more from YouTube per subscriber or view or what have you. And then TikTok seems to be just like this black hole of money where it's like, I know that people make money with TikTok, but it doesn't seem to be any of our clients. And I don't quite know it. I don't quite get
No,
it.
like I don't know that it's the place for course sales. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
Like
think that's it.
I don't know that it's the sort of place where you sell courses. I feel like TikTok is the place where you make money with content. You don't make money on TikTok through course sales. I mean, you might, like, don't get me wrong, you might sell courses on there, but I feel like it's a generational thing. I think more of
Mm.
my generation, 37-year-olds and that sort of age, we're mainly on Instagram. And I'll be honest, within my community as well, the reason why we're all on Instagram is because that's where our community kind of originated, really. It was like YouTube, and then we moved to Instagram, and we've just always been there. We can save our like videos and stuff easier there, and it's a lot easier to sort of like communicate with other pole dancers on there. So it's just kind of been the hub really for pole. And also, one thing I will say is the other reason why we don't use TikTok as much is because they are strict with their content on there. So a
Mm.
lot of our stuff gets deleted, even though it's not pornographic in any way whatsoever. As soon as they see a poll, as soon as anything like that comes up, they just delete your content, and sometimes your account just
Oh,
get banned. So
interesting. So
yeah,
Instagram's more chill than TikTok about that. That's
it's
fascinating.
still not chill.
Oh,
It's
really?
definitely still not chill. Yeah, that's actually a struggle that we face in the pole industry, is that we're heavily filtered. We get shadow banned a lot. I'm actually really lucky. I think because I'm a guy, it makes a difference, which is terrible. I know it shouldn't be that way, but because I'm a man, because I wear a lot more clothing, maybe my style is more like, even when I'm dancing, like, and doing dance routine stuff, like even when I'm wearing heels, I'll be pretty fully clothed. Whereas, our industry came from the sex like industry. It came from the clubs. So it's like
Mm.
a lot of the outfits that the girls wear, if they're doing a heels routine, would be a skimpy outfit, a sexy outfit, to keep it authentic to what it is. But also because obviously we need grip on the pole as well. That's one of the main reasons why, is because we need to be able to grip our skin onto the pole. But also the girls want to feel sexy, they want to feel good, because why shouldn't they?
Mm.
But the problem with that is it means that Instagram end up either shadow banning you, or in worst cases, for many people, just having their accounts deleted, which really sucks.
Mm. Do you know Mimi Midnight?
I do, of course.
Yeah, she's a client of ours, and
That
I
makes so
was
much sense. Can I just tell you why that makes sense? And
yeah.
Mimi, if you're listening to this is going to be so funny, because me and my friend were messaging, and we were like, Mimi's changed. Like something has changed about her profile. Like the way she's posting has changed. We were like, she's up to something. I was like, oh, let's just. Oh, so we just kind of kept watching, and I found it really interesting because I really liked some of the marketing strategy she's been using, and I knew instantly that she was using a marketing strategy company of some sort to help her with it, and like getting her like all of her sort of like evergreen products and all these sorts of things, all the funnels and stuff. I was like, oh, it's really good to see. And you know what, actually, we don't have many pole dancers that really do it because it's kind of frowned upon in a way in our industry.
Mm.
We just have this really weird thing in our industry where people feel like it's bad to make money. Yeah, I know it sounds really weird, but like a lot of people don't like me because I'm very business orientated. I know that this is an industry where I'm not going to be able to do this for the rest of my life. So my priority is my retirement. So I'm very much like I want to make sure that I work really hard now so that I don't have to it being hard times later down the line. But a lot of people just don't agree with that. We're very much like a struggling artist mindset. And my job really is just trying to change that mindset and be like, hey, like we can still be artists and make money, guys. Like
Mm.
we should be making money. So yeah. But it gets mixed reviews, should we say?
Yeah, I think my impression for a long time of anybody artistic was like, oh, okay, well that's very worthy, and I'm sure you really enjoy it, but you can't you can't really make money. Or it's very hard to make money that way. But I think with a lot of this stuff, it's much more doable if you can build an audience for your art. Like we've got a client of ours who teaches how to paint watercolors in a way that is like true to yourself and is allowing you to use self-expression. He only teaches that to French-speaking people. And he's doing great. It's just like, that doesn't sound like a thing that would, where you'd be making loads of money with it. But it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
because he's good at YouTube. And so therefore he's able to build an audience. And it's not even like a massive audience that he's built, but he's really good at that. So, okay, cool. So let's take a step back. So you started working. When did you start building your Instagram account? Was it with COVID, or was that when you just started taking it more seriously?
Oh no, it was before that. I wouldn't say I had over 100,000 before COVID, or maybe it was in the 80s or 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it just slowly goes up. The difficulty with pole is that we get really unlucky with the fact that obviously a lot of our stuff tends to get like banned or whatever. So for a little while we'll just lose followers and then we'll gain loads of followers. So like, yeah, I will probably always sit around the sort of like 100-ish mark. I think the difficulty for me as well is that I'm in such a niche market in the sense that, a lot of the girls, for example, like Mimi, she'll be able to tell you, like, so, she will have a male following. She'll have men that enjoy watching her content, right? She'll also have women that just, appreciate what she can do flexibility wise. And then she'll have pole dancers who follow her. For me, I have women that pole dance that follow me. No straight men are following me. Gay men don't really follow me either because it's that whole thing of like, I'm married anyway. So I'm married also like not the conventional, like, I feel like gay men don't really want to watch other gay men dancing in heels, and that's okay with me because I'm married anyway. And then, yeah, it's like, women who aren't pole dancing wouldn't necessarily randomly follow a male pole dancer. Do you know what I mean? So my following is I'd say majority, it's got to be majority pole dancers because I know that when I look at the little charts on Instagram, it literally is like 98% women and like 2% men. I have a really low following of men. But you know what? This is a good thing. I always say to people as well, like I work with a lot of people on their like social media strategy and things like this for like if they want to do what I'm doing. And they're always like, oh, I've only got 5,000 followers. I'm like, listen, I would rather have 5,000 followers that I can sell something to than 100,000 followers that are all men just watching me dance. You know what I mean? I want people who are actually going to be invested in what I do. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Instagram, maybe 2,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers, 1,400 subscribers on YouTube, and we're doing over $1 million a year with it. It's like it's not a
Amazing.
direct correlation, is it? It's like
$1 million.
Yeah.
Nice. I thought you meant pounds. I was like, that's even more impressive. Like,
yeah, working on that.
I mean, to be fair, at the moment, the dollar is like, it's basically the same, isn't it? Like, so yeah, it's probably not that far off. It's probably about 800 and something thousand pounds though, isn't it?
Ballpark.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
So is there like a process you've got at the moment of how to get somebody from following you on Instagram to buying courses from you? Do you occasionally post stuff on Instagram? Do you get them onto an email list? Like, what's your kind of approach?
I've got an email list. I post on Instagram. I run ads. Um, Word of mouth actually probably is the biggest seller for me. I think when people post their progress and stuff, I tend to get people through that because people will be like, "Oh my God, like it's very much like it's very similar to like PTs. Like when they see their friend has lost loads of weight, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go and
Mm.
lose some weight too." With mine, it's like, "Wow, she's gotten really strong. She's gotten really good at pole. I'm gonna go and do this program too." So yeah, mine mainly comes through that, I would say. Secondary to that, I would say would be through Instagram, my Instagram following. Then it'd probably be ads. And then lastly would probably be email actually, because my emails, I mean, I get sales through them. I just find that I've got more people on Instagram. My mailing list I didn't start until quite late, so I've probably only got, oh God, I don't think I've got over 10,000 people on the mailing list, which I know is still really, really good. But when you compare 10,000 people on a mailing list to 114,000 on socials, it tends to work out that I get a few more sales through the socials. So yeah.
And what are you doing to get people onto the email list? Is that through your site or you point them directly? Do you use ManyChat, get them on from Instagram or?
Yeah, I use ManyChat. I get them on from Instagram. Normally, it will just be a case of like if they go to my website, a little pop up comes up.
Mhm.
They register it on there because I do a lot of like freebies. So I do a lot of sort of like freebies where they can get like free PDFs to help them with certain things and like links to stuff. And people have to be on my mailing list for that. So a lot of it comes through that.
Nice. Okay. What I'm just checking out at the moment, I'm just going through your site and your Instagram, just trying to see like how often do you think you are linking? You're setting up one of those freebies. How often have you got something that you
The
um
freebies not so often at the moment because I have just been manic working. I literally just got back from a tour in Canada. I've got someone who works for me, but she only works for me part time. And then my partner got a job in Dubai, so now I literally today actually sat in my living room at the moment because my house has basically been emptied. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit in the living room, which is the only one with a sofa left. So yeah, I'm just like just managing until we move. But so it's just been absolutely manic. So I just really haven't had the time. But normally when I do them, it'll be like it might be a link to a blog, it might be a link to a YouTube video that I've made that's unlisted, it might be a PDF document of like, you know, it could sometimes I try to repurpose stuff as well. So sometimes like I might have a blog that I'll repurpose into a PDF and I'll be like, hey, if you want this sent to you, and then they do through ManyChat and stuff. But a lot of it probably is just yeah through like if I've ever been doing like challenges and stuff, I'll be like, hey guys, if you want to do this challenge, make sure you're on my mailing list. It's going to go out to everyone on there. So normally people sign up because of that. I guess I just give them a reason
yeah.
to sign up to it, and then hopefully they remain on.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, cool. That sounds good. Um for anyone who's listening and doesn't know about this with Instagram, could you talk them through like that process of using ManyChat? Like what is it that somebody needs to do, like kind of commenting the phrase word and then sorry, the
Yeah,
keyword
so
and
like
then
ManyChat is a tool you can use. I know there's others. I mean, ManyChat is just the one that I use. It's the first one I found out about. ManyChat is a tool where people can you can choose a keyword and you can be like, oh, comment strength below, and I'll send you a link to my program. They comment strength. And it not only obviously increases your engagement because you've got people commenting on your stuff,
Hmm.
it will also reply to their comment for you saying that they've sent it, and it will automatically send the information. And I think, especially with us and like selling online courses and stuff, we really have to try and catch people in that instant moment. So when I see people do it manually, and I can see that maybe they haven't messaged people back, I'm just like, you might have lost them at that point because
Hmm.
they've scrolled. They've scrolled now. They're 10 scrolls deep. They're not going to be buying anything off of you. You need to catch them in that moment. So it was a really useful tool for me.
Yeah. ManyChat's the one that nearly all of our clients who are doing Instagram are using. And in case anybody doesn't know, the reason that you need to do this with Instagram is you can't put links in the comments. So you can't say, just click the link in the comment to go to and then get taken to a landing page where you can then go and opt in. They just don't allow that. You can only have links in your bio, which is a pain in the butt. So ManyChat is kind of the workaround for this. Comment this, and then somebody comments it, then they get sent the resource or sent the link to it. Okay, and so email marketing wise, you've got this list of 10,000, but you said you don't get that many sales from it. What kind of email promotions are you doing? How often are you doing them?
Yeah, well, do you know what's so funny is actually just a couple of hours ago, I had a
Yeah.
meeting with the woman who helped me set up my email automations because I've only really recently gotten into it. I've been really bad with it. I used MailChimp for a little while and
Mhm.
I just like they were just really generic. I never really knew how to make them look good. I didn't know how to structure like the funnels and stuff, like how to like, it triggers when someone does this, and it triggers when someone does this. And now she's like got this fancy setup sorted for me. So it's all connected through Zapier to my website. And so that's really good. So literally, I'm in the process now of just like actually getting the body of the email sorted. And then once that body of the email is sorted, it will then basically automatically email people. So when they, you know, don't they go to the checkout, but they don't check out when when they sign up and then cancel, when they, have been away for 6 months and all these sorts of things. We've just got these automatic emails going out. So definitely I'm going to be better at that, but not yet. So I'll come back to you in 6 months on that.
Yeah, I would say like the email side of things is in this kind of business, it's where about 80% of the potential revenue is. So
Mm,
if you're not making much money through email at the moment, in some ways that's a
I'm
really
doing
good thing
something
because it means
wrong.
you can be making a whole load more once you get your email
Right.
marketing game figured out. So we can
I'm
talk
just
it
gonna
through
open this
later
window.
on.
I'm absolutely boiling in here. But yeah, no, 100%. I actually know as well. I feel like when you do really well through one form of like marketing, which for me was Instagram, you kind of just get complacent because you're like, oh,
Mm.
this is going great. I'm making great money. And you're like, why would I need to do anything else? And I kick myself now because literally just what you said, like when I first started this platform up, if I had like really gone fully in and done the whole like email marketing, Instagram, all of these different funnels to funnel it all into, the end product, God knows how much I could have done in sales. But you know what? At the time, it wasn't really about the money for me. It was mainly about the training for me. I wish I'd been a little bit more business orientated back then than I am now, but it's fine. Like it's still, and even now it still does great. It's just, yeah, I've just got a few things that I need to get better at, and emails is one of them.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of that's why I started the business. It's just that I could see there's so many people like you who are great at creating content on socials, great at creating courses. People love the courses, but there's just this step in between, which is like, okay, well, how do we get more of those people to buy the courses? Which is email marketing and funnels. That is, it's just like a whole different set of skills that people don't have, So that's kind of why
Mm.
I'd originally got started with this to be like, okay, well, let's help all these people running course businesses to make the kind of money that they potentially can. Like we had
And did
somebody.
you start making your own courses? Was that how you started?
No, I started by just working with course creators on this. So that I made my own
Oh,
courses
okay.
so the way that we worked was we started out with a done for you service, and then we also added in one-to-one coaching where we would help people do it, and then we added in group coaching, and then to make the group coaching program better, I had to create a course for it. So it's kind of worked backwards down from done for you
Ah,
down, and we still do all of those. So we still have all of those available.
who are
Um,
your courses through? Can I ask? Just intrigued to know what platform you use.
We've just swapped over to Circle because the membership part of things is really important. We had the courses hosted on ClickFunnels before, which is great for
Okay.
funnels, well, in certain ways, and terrible for course hosting. But it's what we
Okay.
had. So it was like, it kind of works all right. Circle's really good for the membership side of things in the community. We were using, because it's really, really, it's a big deal for a lot of our group coaching clients that they can message and ask questions in some way online.
Right.
And so we were using Slack, and then Slack changed their way that people could ask questions and message to be so that we
Uh,
had to pay for every single person client of ours who was then asking us questions in there. And it started to add up, and it was just like, this isn't the best system, it's just the one we've already got, and it's expensive, so let's swap over to something that's like better for this. But like most clients are using Teachable or Kajabi. Like that's the majority of clients, I'd say.
yeah, I'd heard of. Have you heard of Uscreen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uscreen.tv. Yeah.
I've got a friend who uses Uscreen. Do you know what? This is the thing. They've all got their
Yeah.
pluses and minuses. This is the thing. Like, and I haven't left Teachable because it's one of those things where I'm like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But one of my friends, for example, he has got a platform on on what's it called? Uscreen.
Yeah.
And when he's on Uscreen, like, when his customers like unsubscribe, it'll offer them these offers and stuff. Whereas Teachable doesn't have that function yet, but they're constantly trying to improve. So that's why I've always kind of stuck with them, because they've actually done really good for me, to be fair. But there's just a few things that I'm just a bit like, why does this system not have this? You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
why have you not implemented it? Surely you could have implemented this by now. But yeah, but I don't know the ins and outs of running a website like that. But yeah, you know, when you're a bit like, "Ah, it's perfect, but it's like, it could be so much better, you know?
Yeah, what happened with Teachable is they were started by a guy who was really passionate about it, and then he sold it to a private equity firm. And so
Uh,
everything's kind of become more corporate and more focused around just how do they make money out of it. But what's really ironic with Teachable is, in terms of they want to be able to make more money, their checkout pages are appalling. Their sales page options are appalling. It's like really hard to make good, high converting sales and checkout pages in Teachable. So when we're working with clients, will often move over from the funnel from Teachable to ClickFunnels, and then it converts over. But you still keep Teachable as the back end for actually hosting the
that's
courses.
pretty much what I've done. So
Oh,
like
really? What are you using?
so I've got, I don't know if this is what you meant, but like, so I've got my WordPress website.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a guide. I say my WordPress website like I made it. I haven't got a clue how to do that stuff. But I had a website guy make my website for me. And basically all my sales pages and stuff are on there. It gives you all the information that you need to purchase the product, tells you what level you want to be and stuff like that. And then basically the last step of checking out and paying, that's through Teachable.
Okay.
Everything else is through my website. Because like you said, it's terrible. Like I just hated their site, like hated the way it looks. I didn't like how unuser friendly it was. Some of the pages used to take ages to load. And I was like, right, I'm just gonna speak to a computer guy and just be like, help me. And he was like, let's do it all off of the platform for sales and then onto the platform just to do the checkout. And then once they're in, they can just access, because accessing the platform is pretty good. It's mainly just like the sales side of it
Yes.
sucks.
Yeah.
But I feel like the platform actually, in terms of how it's laid out and stuff, I mean, apart from the fact that it doesn't have like, I wish it had some like sort of search bar so people could search for certain classes. That'd be awesome, but like you can just press Control and F, right? And you can just find it that way. But for people who don't know how to do stuff like that, it's like, you know, I know that if that had been me before I knew how to do things like that, I would have been looking for a search bar to try and search for certain classes, and they don't have that yet. But again, it's feedback that I've given them, and I hope that all these little improvements they're going to do later down the line. But for now, it's doing good. And I guess the difficulty is that, you know, Circle is another one that I hadn't heard of. But it's one of those things where I'm like, if I looked at it and it looked perfect, I still probably wouldn't really be able to move over to it, because when you have such a base of customers
Mm-hmm.
in one place, to move them all, they all have to cancel and re-sign up again. I can't just be like, hey, can you move all their direct debit details over? Because they can't legally do that. So it's just it's really difficult, because I actually really got really close to moving them all over to Uscreen,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, we can move their details over, we just can't move their payment details over, so they'll have to sign up again. I'm like, well, that's me out.
Yeah. Yeah. So your sales pages, I'm just checking them out now. In fact, I'm going to share screen if that's all right. And so anybody who's watching the video version of this will be able to check it out.
It's going to be the part where you pick apart my sales screen.
This is, wait a sec. Can you see this all right? Yeah, this is showing. Okay. So let's go and look
Yeah.
at this is your site. And if I go through the classes and then choose plan, like this is all looking very beautiful, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely can give you some feedback about like the headline and some stuff on the sales page, but the look of it, the branding, the style, the layout is all great. And then if someone clicks through to the checkout page, they're seeing this,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it's functional. This is the Teachable one, right? But it's not.
Yeah, that's the Teachable page.
It's missing a lot of stuff that's like really good for conversion optimization. So a lot of people don't realize this, but the kind of conversion rates you get on checkout pages is, for most people, only about like 10 to 15%, which means you've got people all the way through the sales process, and then like 85% of them, 90% sometimes, are dropping out at that point. And the reason is because people, when they get to this stage, they get really kind of nervous. They're like, oh, I've actually got to part with the cash now, and I've got to put my credit card details in, and what if I'm not getting the right thing, and what have you. And so you need to have things on the page in order to make them feel reassured.
Yeah.
Testimonials, reminder of the product that they're getting, reminder of the benefits of it, but just little bits, so tiny little snippets from on the sales page. So this is an example of one that I think we've redone this recently. So yeah, this is not absolutely perfect, but it's way, way better. You
And
see, it's got
this one
here.
you're talking about now is through Teachable.
No, so we moved this. So this is in Samcart. You'll see in the thing URL here. So you can still have the course on Teachable, but the checkout page somewhere else as well. Samcart, Thrivecart, that kind of thing. So it means you don't have to move everything off Teachable. This is still a faff, right? To move this stuff over. It's not like it's no work, but it
Mm.
sometimes, depending on what kind of stuff you're launching, is enough to be worth it. And then after that, from then on, you've always got it on the new platform. So you'll see here we've got a bunch of little things that all make a difference. So it's got a thing saying that it's 100% safe and secure. There's a URL as a email address for if someone needs some help. That's like a minor thing, but that makes a difference. We've got the fact that it's got lifetime access, and we've got the number of testimonials shown and a number of 5-star reviews, like a computer and a mobile and an iPad all showing the product. So people are like, oh, I can get access to it on any of these things. It's got a reminder of
Hmm.
what's included in the bonuses. It's got a badge for the guarantee. It's got a reminder that the price is reduced if they get it today, and then more details about the guarantee. It's got these 2 order bumps over here, which you can only do 1 order bump on Teachable. And the Teachable order bump design is it's almost as if they don't want anybody to buy it.
I
Um,
know. And again, I freaking hate that about Teachable. This is a thing. But again, I kind of got trapped by it because at the
yeah.
time it was just like a rush. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I reached out to one person I knew who did online. I was like, who are you using? Teachable. Oh, and they only charge me this, blah, blah, blah. It's actually really reasonable. I was like, okay, great. I'll go and sign up to them now.
Yeah.
It's just because I had a review off of someone. Had I, in hindsight, if I'd had more time, absolutely, probably would have gone with someone else. But that
But
page you're
Teachable's
using, so
good though. For the stuff you're used for actually hosting the courses, Teachable's one of the better products. It's just the sales part of it. So I think you probably made the right
mm,
choice, because when you're getting started and you're in a hurry, use something easy. I think that's good. It's
yeah,
that
for
later
sure.
on, at some point, I'm not even saying this is the next thing that you should do. I'm just saying this is a thing in the process that can make a big difference. But sorry, I interrupted you. Were
But
saying
is
something.
that, yeah, I was just going to say, so that page you just showed me, are you saying that you can link that to Teachable? How does that
Mm.
even work?
Yeah, Zapier. Yeah.
Oh, so it will basically take their details from there and then zap it over to
Yeah, so you're taking
the
the
website and
payment
sign them
somewhere
up.
else, and then when the payment is taken, then it sets them up with an account in Teachable, which
Is
is,
this where you have to enable the back end, the back office thing?
well, I'm not
Have
sure.
you heard of that? Yeah. I'll talk to you about that another time. I assume this is probably really boring for anyone listening now, but yeah, I definitely want to talk to you about that because these are all little technology things that, again, like I said, because when I started, I just knew nothing about all of this, so this world, and it really is like it's been eye-opening.
Mm.
um I just didn't even know that some of this stuff was possible. Like Zapier, I didn't know I could get this website to tell this website to do this. I was like, what the hell? I still, I'll be honest, I still now, when she's setting it up for me, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? She's like a wizard. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's so clever. Can't get over how clever it is. I mean, if she dies, I'm absolutely fucked, basically, because I will not know how to do any of that. But yeah, so but yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Like the
Yeah.
technology, and this is the thing is that I've slowly kind of gotten into it. Had I been hot on that at the beginning, who knows where I'd be at now.
Mm. So what is next for you? What are you working on next?
So at the moment, I am just still obviously, pushing the online plans because it's my bread and butter. And to be honest, I actually really love it. Like I still love teaching it. We have such a great community of people that do the classes that it makes it really fun for me to do. So I'm still going to continue doing that. When I move, it means that I'll have a lot more free time because I'm not going to be in the UK. So when I'm in the UK, I tend to be spending a lot of time out, like training with people or, teaching classes or teaching workshops in Europe. Whereas because I'm going to be further away, it'll be harder for me to do that. So it'll give me time to focus on some other online projects. I really wanted to, I've got a course that I'm going to be releasing for people who are pole dancers that really want to make money from
Hmm.
pole. And like I said to you about, well, we've been in this like struggling artist mentality for many years now. And I want to really teach people how they can actually make a living from this
Mm.
because so many people do this alongside a full-time job because they can't afford to go full-time into it. And there's some of them that I just think it's just so sad when they tell me like, if they're struggling for money and stuff. And I'm like, that's really sad because you are amazing and you should be You should be thriving financially from your talents, and they're not, and it makes me really sad. So I really want to help people with that.
Nice. That's cool, man. Talk to me. You'd mentioned in the info you'd sent over beforehand that you think that you have to put out courses and content with pure intentions. What do you mean by that? That's interesting for me to say.
So I feel like if you're just going to put a course, yeah, I specifically said it that way. I didn't know how to word that, but like, I feel like sometimes when you look online, sometimes people will just see the opportunity to make a load of money and they'll just chuck a load of crap out there. And I'm just like, I don't like that because I've bought stuff like that, but accidentally before, back when I knew nothing about this industry. And this is the problem is that, you're paying for these courses and then you find out that they're just trash and it kind of gives all the other courses a bad name. But also, I guess you just don't want to you don't want to be selling a course just because you want to make money. I just don't think, I feel like you have to have a passion for actually wanting to educate. I don't
Mm.
think that just doing it because you want to make loads of money. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you said about that, the people that have bought Teachable now are just about making the money. That makes me really sad because obviously it was originally owned by someone who genuinely had a passion for making sure that people could, it was really passionate about the business and stuff. I think there's got to be balance. We all want to make money, right? But at the same time, I just think you've got to do it with good intentions rather than being like, oh, I'm just going to get as much money out of this as possible.
Mm. And I think that's really similar to pretty much everyone we work with. I think there's like a couple of different types of people who make money through courses. And nearly everybody who we work with is someone who, first of all, they built up an audience, and then the audience wanted some kind of more extra support online, and then they made courses for them. And that almost always has started from a place of excitement and enthusiasm and knowledge about a topic. Whereas there's
Yeah.
another whole set of people who are like, I want to make money online. Courses is a way to do that. How am I? What's the opportunity? What's the niche? What's the space? And sometimes those people are making bank and they're making loads of money, but the background, the intention, the way they're thinking about it is quite different. As a whole,
Hmm.
it's almost like a whole different it's almost like a different kind of business in a lot of ways because of the things that they do or don't know, or do the things that they, the approaches they take. I just wanted to actually go back for anybody who's was listening to what I was saying about the checkout pages and wants to go find learn a little bit more about that. I did 2 podcast episodes just about checkout pages. So there was one with Boris on July 24th, 2025, called 12 Checkout Page Tricks to Get More Sales Instantly. And that we really went into detail about like every one of those little things that I just mentioned earlier. I did an episode with Yosit, must have elements of a successful checkout page, May 24th, 2023. And then also, if you want to get details about checkout pages, I think I have something on our resources page. I've just gone and had a look and I don't. Oh, that's funny. Okay. I've got stuff about sales pages and email templates. I might need to make one of those. So let's just see. I'll see if I can get Petra from my team to set this up. If you go to datadrivenmarketing.co/ what should we come up with for it? Order page. Yeah, do that. Go to datadrivenmarketing.co/ order page, and I will get a resource set up that's going to give you details of everything you need to have in place to get your checkout page converting really well. Okay, going back to you.
Yeah.
So where did we get to? We had why you think there's that kind of pure intentions. I agree with that. I think it makes a difference. I think it comes through. It improves the longevity of the business. It improves
Hmm.
the word of mouth. It makes you feel better about it. It creates a whole
I didn't
different
want it to be
experience.
misconstrued when I said that. I mean, because it's like, I know that Mimi, for example, and I know she won't mind me saying this, but obviously she went in a different direction with her course compared to obviously what her page was originally about.
Yeah.
Because obviously I knew her page as like sexy style pole and stuff. The truth is, though, is that actually flexibility was a really good way for her to transition a skill that she's good at to more than just pole dancers. I really liked that. I see that's different. See,
Mm,
that's wanting to take another skill that you're good at and just diversifying. I don't think that that is bad intention. So I
mm,
didn't mean it in terms of that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I guess when I said it, I was kind of thinking of like when I did this, when I started it, I did it all for free. So the first month of classes, and people are always like, what? I did it for free because it wasn't for them, it was for me. And they were joining in with me. And it just
Mm,
turned into something bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I just always say to people, I feel like when you do stuff like that and your intentions are pure, the universe is going to give you something good back, so long as you put the work in.
mm,
And I'm very much like one of those crazy people that's like into like manifestation and all that sort of stuff. And I just feel like by doing that service for free, it manifested a business for me. And as a thank you, I genuinely believe that. I think that's why people still support me because they remember when I did that for free before I made any money from it, you know? So yeah.
mm. Why do you think that you can't be loved by everyone and you have to tell people the things they don't want to hear? Tell me about that.
Well, I mean that in terms of like social media, but also in terms of actually teaching as well. Like sometimes when you're teaching people, it's like when I did a pilot of my social media course for pole dancers, right? And I did it with 5 other people. And sometimes you have to tell people that necessarily they might not want to hear, you know? And it's a difficult thing to do, but I feel like you will gain more loyalty by doing that. And in my classes as well, when I'm, teaching people, if something is not right, I will tell you. No, you don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't have to be mean about it. Like, I just mean that you have to sometimes just put the hard truths out there, even though you don't want to. And I feel like with social media, a lot of the stuff that I do, and like I said about the fact that we've talked about money on here, some of the people in our industry will be like, oh God, I can't believe they talked about money like that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, we just have never talked about money in our industry. Like, it's
Mm.
only recently that I've even started talking about studios and how to make money because I felt able to because I sold my studio. And now I'm
Mm.
trying to like educate people for the studio owners that still exist. Because again, we have this industry where people don't talk about money. It's so weird. Like, and people will make comments like if a studio owner turns up in a nice new car, they're like, oh, that's a nice new car. How did you afford that? It's like, well, why shouldn't they afford that? They're running a business for you, a good quality business. I feel like they should be compensated for that. And it's really weird because I don't know whether it's in any other industries. Like, I don't know whether the dance industry has it or anything, but yeah, we have a really weird, not me, but a lot of people in our industry have a really weird mindset for money. I just don't know how it's come around or it's weird. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, if someone's been listening to this and they want to go check out your site, they want to see what you're doing on Instagram, how you've got it all working, where should they go?
I guess the best place is just to go to poledancewithdan.com. That's where kind of everything is. Um, yeah, that's probably the best place. And then you could go to at Dan Rosenpole on Instagram, same again on TikTok. But I mainly use Instagram, to be honest. And it's probably the place that you can catch me the best. And yeah, come and ask me any questions you have. I'd love to hear from you guys.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for coming on, Dan. Really, really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you having me on.
And please remember, I want to remind you how much your support means to me. So if you would take a moment to go and review the podcast, give us 5 stars ideally, then it would be absolutely fantastic. You can go to ratethispodcast.com/online courses, and then you can give ratings there. It's going to take you to the right spot for like Spotify or iTunes or whatever. Just link you directly from that. So ratethispodcast.com/online courses. Thank you as always for listening. Really, really appreciate you guys. See you next time.